All right, it's been really interesting. I'm sitting with Denis Carr, who, for the last year, I keep calling Councilor Carr, and now you are Councilor Carr again.
Yeah.
The city made the decision not to call a by-election and put you back in the seat.
Wise move.
Wise move. After Councillor Brock Frost finally resigned and ended a very interesting chapter of Cornwall's history. There are some people like Hugo Rodriguez, the freeholder, that's apparently his panties are in a bind. But there are other people that are saying you might have a very calming effect on what's been a very dysfunctional council so far this term.
Well, I mean, I'm not there to perform any kind of miracles. I'll go there and I'll do the job to the best of my abilities. I mean, history will show, past practice will show that I like to work with administration. I respect administration. I respect their abilities. That's the reason they're there. They're hired to do specific jobs that they have the talents to do, that they were educated to do, and they are we have a very good administrative team at City Hall, and I will support them, and there will be no surprises coming from me. My past practice has always been, if I had a question, I would ask them before I went to council meeting, and I'd maybe still ask the same question, but I'd never blindside them. That's not fair.
Now, you've seen just about everything there is to see in a municipal council over the many years that you've served.
I think you were a couple of manys too much there.
Well, we're having fun here. What's the challenge for you coming back for the rest of this 3 years? What would you like to accomplish?
Well, I would like to. The city has many challenges, and at this present time, although I've just said that it has a strong administration, we have lost some key players in the last couple of years.
Stephen Alexander,
yeah, for example.
Great guy.
Yeah, super guy. And there's some other people in that kind of type
Robert
of position.
Manon, we lost him too.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Robert Manon.
I didn't say you did.
Okay, well, I'm just,
I think he was a great guy too.
Who?
I think he was a great guy too.
He had his good points. I think there are more people who are retirement age who could leave the city's employ, who will be very difficult to replace. But we have some new talent coming along. And the last thing we want to do is not to cooperate and not to encourage those new people taking those very stressful positions. I mean, working for a major employer in the city is fine. Working for the city, who's a major employer in the city, is not always easy.
Well, isn't the city one of, if not the major employer in the whole community?
I think it has 600 employees.
Yeah.
But the thing is, some people say, well, it's like working in a fishbowl. I don't agree with that. I think it's like working in a shark tank sometimes.
I got to throw you a curveball question,
Sure,
and this is something no one's ever really talked about. It's something I noticed recently from the city of Windsor.
Okay.
You're known for, filling up swimming pools and being the meanie on council when it comes to budgets. Would you support outsourcing services and eventually cutting down the amount of city staff that we have?
I would never be in favor of just laying off city staff. I think in today's economy and the way things are today, you can get to the employee level that you're comfortable with, that you can afford, that you need to do the job by attrition. Mm-hmm. I think it doesn't take long. It happens everywhere else. I don't think you have to do this slash and cut and all this kind of stuff. No, but I think you have to have a long look at how you run things, and the only way you can go through attrition and not replace people is to have the cooperation of everyone involved. That's not just management, that's unions as well.
But can unions price their members out of competitive balance? Like, for instance, in Windsor, they're citing the example of maintenance workers where they simply price themselves to the point where a for-profit company can come in and offer the services for less while still paying their employees.
Well, we've done that in many instances. I mean, garbage pickup used to be done by the city. Mm-hmm. Now it's done by an outside contractor. I think you have to look at those things, and you have to work with your employees, both union and non-union, to say, okay, listen, if you could get something done just as well or even better, you have to have a discussion. So why is that? And how come we can't match those prices or those services? But you've got to be open and honest about that.
So again, what do you feel is the difference in Cornwall now in 2015 than the last two terms when you served as councillor?
Well, I think, and it goes back to the last two terms. I think the two terms we were on a very good path. The city financially is in pretty fair shape. We've got some new industries in town. We've got great expansion coming with those DC, the distribution centres. That's very positive. It's good, clean stuff for the city. We have a reputation now for being a city that has clean air and clean water. We've got a waterfront that we've never properly utilised and marketed, and I think there's some plans in process to change that and to correct that situation. I think you have to look at what your assets are and display them for everyone to see, and the kind of life we have here. Neither one of us, Jamie. You didn't live born in the city. I wasn't born in the city. It's my home.
Same here.
And it's your home too. Sometimes neither one of us is the most popular guy in town, but we still like living here, and we can put up with that stuff.
Absolutely. I've had many opportunities to leave. I have opportunities right now, and I've turned a few down. So,
do you want to announce something now? Or
No, I'm not. I'm staying because every day I stay here, there's a poke in the eye to some bad guys. So, but this interview is about you.
No, but I like living here. I'm a Cornwall booster. Yeah. I think that Cornwall has a great future, and I want to be part of it. I believe in the city, and I will continue to do so, and I'll do everything that I can to assist while I'm on council.
So here's a few. I'm just going to throw these terms out. The population of Cornwall getting over 50,000 people. How do we do that?
I think we have to have a population of 47,000 where everybody has a good job and nobody's hungry.
Okay, great answer. You yourself are an artist, a musician, longtime performer. You know what the venues like to play here are. They're very limited opportunities for you to make money at your art and your craft. How do we improve the art scene here in Cornwall?
Well, I think one of the things is, and like you say, I've been in the music business with the Brigadoons, and before that with the Butlers. We just had a 50-year reunion, which was great. And we've never relied on grants or anything to do it. We've relied on ourselves. Because you have a guitar does not make you a musician, and because you have a paintbrush and a set of paints does not make you an artist. I think we can have fun learning to be a musician and learning to play instruments and learning how to paint pictures. But we have some tremendous talents here, and I think we have a responsibility to, when we talk about how much money in this town do we devote to sports and stuff?
A lot.
But that's a good thing. And I think we have to start developing portion of that money to people who are in other kind of disciplines.
I don't think enough people realize that art is in itself an industry and a business, and that it's not so much that we want to donate money for people to play at their craft. It's an investment in the future of the economy and tourism for the community. Would you support having a 1% investment in the arts, but based on the budget?
Well, I think I'm going to say something now, and you're not going to agree with me. Okay, we have in this community. The city rents, along with the committee, Altsville Theatre, Altsville Hall. This city must maintain Altsville Theatre.
Why?
Because, and you talk about Brockville often, and you talk about Kingston, they both have theatres that are a key component of the arts in those communities. And this theatre here should be the same thing.
I agree that we should have a theatre. I don't think we should have Altsville Theatre as the structure that it is, because it never as long as we're funding the auditorium of St. Lawrence College, we're not really achieving anything.
I didn't say it was St. Lawrence College Theatre. I said we should have Altsville Theatre.
Right, but does it have to be with that cost associated with it? Because it has to be bang for the buck, and the community has to be getting value.
We didn't own the library. It was a federal government building. We bought it, and we changed it into a library, and it's very successful. It's a library that's the envy of many other communities.
Right, but the city owns the building.
Yes.
But it doesn't own the actual library or the books or anything.
Why couldn't we own St. Lawrence College?
Well, I agree. If we bought St. Lawrence College and we owned the facility, then we wouldn't be paying $100,000 a year in rent anymore.
And that's my point exactly.
Okay.
We should make sure we do not let St. Lawrence College Theatre. We should make arrangements with the theatre so it becomes City of Cornwall Theatre.
Now, you've been involved with Heart of the City and real estate for ages here. Could you sever that property? Could Altsville Hall become its own tearaway property that's independently owned?
Of course it could.
Okay. Well, that would be awesome.
I'm going to say that off the top of my head. I haven't checked. I don't see anything why it couldn't.
Well, let's not let facts get in the way of a good idea. Okay, now, as president of the Chamber of Commerce, small business is the key to also building a thriving
Small
community.
business is having a tough time.
We're having a really tough time here. Now that you're back on council, in your opinion, is there anything that council can do to help small business in Cornwall other than not boycott them?
Well, I think one of the things that can happen with small business, and it's starting to happen already. I've been to a couple of meetings representing the chamber. One is people were talking about an Eastern Ontario conference that could looking for investment and improvements for small business in this community. And there were some people that said, why instead of talking Eastern Ontario, and for those who don't know, Eastern Ontario from a provincial standpoint goes to Peterborough.
Now, I thought it went to Kingston.
Oh, it goes past Kingston.
Oh.
It goes to Peterborough. That's, but even if it just goes to Kingston, that doesn't really help us. But where we are, and we keep talking about location, well, look at our location. We're here. We're right next door to the St. Lawrence River. We're right next door to the province of Quebec, and we've always dealt with the province of Quebec, have good relationships. We're right next door to Akwesasne, and there's all kinds of possibilities there. And we're right next door to northern United States and the northeastern part of New York City, the state of, I always call New York the province, the state of New York. Why can't we have relationships with those people and those organizations to improve the lot for all of us by saying,
Why haven't we done that?
well, I think we're going to start doing some of that stuff. And that's through the Chamber of Commerce. That's the kind of talks that are going on right now. And I think that's great.
All right, and I'm going to leave the last word to you because you've been a good sport and it's been a fairly long interview. 3 more years of Denis Carr on council. Is this going to change things? Is this going to improve the council?
I would hope so. I'm willing to work as hard as I can to be part of a winning team. And I think all the things are there to have a winning team.
All right, welcome back, Councillor Carr.
Thank you.